When your body cries out, it's easy to believe you are powerless. Every ache seems to tell you that something is failing. Every throb insists that wholeness is slipping further away. But within you there is a healer that never rests, never weakens, never fails. It is the God presence that formed you in the beginning. It shaped your bones, knit together your muscles, breathed life into your lungs. That same presence still dwells within you now, knowing exactly how to restore what pain has broken. Those who listened to Joseph Murphy did not come seeking theories. They came seeking relief, restoration and peace. And relief is what they found. For Murphy knew that sickness and weakness are not the final authority. He reminded the weary that divine intelligence is alive within them, constantly renewing, constantly rebuilding, constantly healing. When you trust the God within, you open the door for life itself to do what no medicine of man could ever fully accomplish. And now, you stand before that door, not by accident, not by coincidence. The words you are about to hear have carried many out of sickness and into health, out of weakness and into strength, out of despair and into vibrant life. They are not bound by time, because they belong to an eternal law that does not fail, does not weaken, and does not sleep. So pause, breathe. Set aside the fears that cling to the body, the doubts that weigh on the mind, the shadows of pain that cloud your heart. Step into this moment as if entering a sacred hall, for the words ahead are not empty philosophy. They are living power, waiting for the soil of your trust. Prepare your heart, quiet your mind, for once you receive this truth, you will never look at pain the same way again. Now, let the words of Joseph Murphy awaken you to the presence within, and watch what happens when you trust God to heal you. And now, we begin.
Pain often blinds men to this truth. They think of themselves as broken machines in need of external repair. They forget that every cut heals from within, that every broken bone mends by an intelligence greater than the surgeon's hand. The physician may set the bone, but it is the life principle in you that fuses it. The nurse may dress the wound, but it is the infinite within that closes it. Medicine aids, but God heals. You are not a mere collection of parts. You are a temple of the living Spirit. And when you acknowledge the presence, when you call upon it with faith, you awaken its healing power in every cell, every nerve, every organ of your being. When your body cries out in pain, when every step feels heavy, when the night is restless and the morning brings no relief, you may believe you are powerless before suffering. But I tell you, there is a force within you greater than all the pain, wiser than all the physicians, deeper than all the remedies of man. It is the God within, the infinite presence, the divine intelligence that formed your body in the secret chambers of the womb, that knit together your cells, that keeps your heart beating without your command and your lungs breathing without your thought. When the body hurts, it is not the time to surrender to despair. It is the time to turn inward, to trust the God within, for it knows how to heal you. There was once a man who suffered with ulcers, his body ravaged by stress and bitterness. No treatment brought relief. He came to me in despair. I asked him, "What thoughts do you carry to bed each night?" He answered, "I rehearse every insult, every failure, every fear." I told him, "Your subconscious is the soil, and resentment is the poison you are planting. It will always express what is impressed. Begin tonight to plant new seeds. As you drift into sleep, repeat, 'The healing presence of God flows through me like a golden river. Every cell of my body is made whole and strong.'" He obeyed. Within weeks, the ulcers began to heal, and soon he was free of them altogether. The physicians marveled, but it was no marvel, it was law. What is impressed is expressed. Write that truth down. Whisper it until it burns in your heart. What is impressed is expressed. Even science, though it may not speak of God, testifies to the power of belief. Placebos heal because the subconscious, once convinced, mobilizes the healing resources of the body. Hypnosis cures pain because the subconscious accepts the suggestion of relief and manifests it. Stigmata appear because the subconscious accepts the image of wounds and etches it into flesh. If belief can create disease, belief can also dissolve it. If faith and fear can kill, faith in God can heal. The law is impersonal. It will serve your fear or your faith. Choose wisely which seed you plant, for the harvest is inevitable. The subconscious mind is the silent builder of the body. Every organ, every tissue, every function is directed by it. It takes its orders from your dominant thought and feeling. If you constantly affirm, I am sick, I am weak, I am broken, it accepts that as instruction and shapes the body accordingly. But if you declare, I am whole, I am strong, I am divinely sustained, it obeys with equal faithfulness. The subconscious does not question, it does not argue. It simply acts. Therefore, you must become the master of your speech, the guardian of your thought. Do not hand the builder the blueprint of disease. Hand it the blueprint of health, and it will construct health in your body with precision and certainty. When your body hurts, the temptation is to magnify the pain, to rehearse it, to speak of it constantly. But this only impresses it deeper. Do not give pain the dignity of your constant attention. Turn instead to the truth. Affirm quietly, this pain is passing. The healing presence of God flows through me now. Imagine light streaming into the hurting part, soothing, restoring, renewing. Feel gratitude as though the healing were already complete. The subconscious, convinced by the image and the feeling, will direct the body to conform. Healing may come gradually, like dawn breaking, or swiftly, like lightning flashing. But come it must, for the law cannot be mocked. What you impress will be expressed. Consider the words of Scripture. I am the Lord that healeth thee. Not I will be, but I am. Healing is not distant, but present. It is not a favor granted from afar, but a law working from within. Your task is not to beg, but to believe, not to strain, but to surrender. Trust the God within, for it knows how to heal you. Trust it more than you trust the pain. Trust it more than you trust the diagnosis. Trust it more than you trust the fear. And when you trust, truly trust, the healing presence begins its work in ways unseen yet unstoppable. Do not confuse trust with passivity. To trust is to act inwardly, to impress upon the subconscious the conviction of health. It is to repeat affirmations of life until they saturate your heart. It is to imagine yourself whole until the picture burns brighter than the pain. It is to give thanks for the healing before you see it. These are not idle acts. They are the most powerful actions you can take, for they direct the silent builder within to construct the body anew. The outer remedies may assist, but it is the inner command that governs all. Now I ask you to engrave this law into your soul. Say it aloud, write it on your paper. Let it echo within. I am one with the healing presence of God. My body is a temple of wholeness. Every cell responds to divine order. I am strong, I am whole, I am healed. Whisper it before sleep. Declare it upon waking. Let it become the rhythm of your being. For what is impressed will be expressed. This is the law. This is the secret. This is your healing. The body is not your enemy. It is the servant of your mind, and it listens to every command you give. When you say, I am tired, I am sick, I am broken, you are issuing orders, and the subconscious obeys with unquestioning loyalty. When you declare, I am whole, I am strong, I am renewed by divine life, you give it a different command, and it follows with the same obedience. This is why idle words are dangerous, and why careless thoughts take root so easily. The subconscious is not selective. It does not argue or reason. It only records, accepts, and executes. You are the commander, and your speech is law. What law are you passing to the silent builder within you tonight? I recall the case of a woman who suffered from arthritis for years, bound in stiffness and pain. She had tried every remedy, but without lasting relief. I asked her, what do you say to yourself when you awaken in the morning? She answered, I always groan, another day of pain. And so her subconscious fulfilled her expectation day after day. I instructed her to change her declaration. Each morning before rising, she was to say, divine life flows through me now. My joints are free, supple, and strong. I am filled with the vitality of God. At first she resisted, for her pain was real, but she persisted, repeating it daily with as much feeling as she could gather. Within months her stiffness dissolved, her pain lessened, and she walked with freedom. What had changed? Not her environment, not the medicine, but the seed she planted in her subconscious. What is impressed is expressed. Pain is often the body's cry that the mind is out of harmony. Fear, resentment, and worry are poisons that seep into the subconscious and are expressed in physical form. Resentment may corrode the joints, fear may cripple the nerves, worry may disturb the heart, but forgiveness restores, Faith strengthens, peace harmonizes. The body is the screen upon which the inner film is projected. If you do not like the image, do not curse the screen. Change the film. Choose thoughts of love, harmony, and strength, and the picture of your health will change in due season. The law is unfailing. Every thought is a cause. Every condition is an effect. There was once a famous tenor, Enrico Caruso, who trembled with stage fright before singing. His conscious mind filled with fear, tightening his throat, robbing his voice. But he cried out, "Caruso, get out here and sing." He gave his subconscious a new order, and instantly the fear dissolved, his voice soaring with magnificence. What is true of performance is true of health. Speak with authority to your subconscious. Command it, "Every nerve and organ of my body is functioning in divine order. The peace of God floods my being. I am radiant with light." Do not whisper weakness. Declare wholeness. Your subconscious is always listening, and it must obey. Even when medical science calls a condition incurable, remember that it is only incurable to the conscious reasoning mind. To the subconscious there is no incurable. Madame Weyer of France was blind, though her optic nerves were destroyed. Yet through suggestion and belief, her sight was restored. Doctors could not explain it, but the subconscious required no explanation. It only needed belief. If a dead nerve can be revived by belief, what limitation remains? Nothing is impossible to the subconscious once convinced. Your task is to convince it, to impress upon it the truth you desire to see expressed. That is faith, the conviction of things unseen, the certainty of things hoped for. When your body hurts, the temptation is to identify with the pain, to say, "I am my illness, I am my weakness." But you are not your body, you are spirit, you are life. You are the channel of the infinite. The body is your instrument, not your identity. Do not say, "I am arthritis." Say, "I am life expressing itself in perfect harmony." Do not say, "I am weak." Say, "I am strength, clothed in flesh." These declarations are not mere words, they are seeds. Plant them consistently, water them with faith, and they must bear fruit. The subconscious will not deny them if you persist. A man once suffered from chronic insomnia. He would lie awake, whispering, "I will never sleep, I cannot rest." And the subconscious faithfully kept him awake, hour after hour. I taught him to reverse the order. As he lay in bed, he was to repeat softly, "I sleep in peace. The healing presence of God renews me as I rest. I wake refreshed, restored and renewed." Within a week, he slept deeply for the first time in years. His subconscious, convinced by repetition, obeyed the command. This is the key. Never finish a negative statement. Reverse it immediately. If you begin to say, "I can't," quickly correct it with, "I can through the God within me." The law will obey the final word you impress. Understand that healing is not always dramatic or sudden. Sometimes it is like dawn, imperceptibly brightening until the full sun rises. Sometimes it is like a river, quietly washing away debris until the water runs clear. But whether swift or gradual, the law is certain. Impress health, and health must be expressed. Persist, and the subconscious must yield. The infinite within you is the same power that heals a wound, grows a tree, moves the stars. Trust it, cooperate with it, affirm it, and it will restore you to harmony. Now let us engrave this law upon our hearts with affirmation. Say it, write it, believe it. I am one with the healing life of God. Every cell of my body responds to divine order. My mind is calm, my body is strong, my spirit is free. The law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in health, wholeness, and strength now. Let it echo in your being tonight, for what is impressed will be expressed, and the God within knows how to heal you. Every symptom in the body is a message, not a sentence. Pain, weakness, fatigue. These are signals, reminders that the inner life has drifted out of alignment with divine order. They are not punishments, but invitations. Invitations to return, to turn inward, to acknowledge the God within that heals, restores, and renews. When your body hurts, you may be tempted to think only of medicine, of doctors, of remedies. But remember this, all these are but channels. The true healer is the infinite presence working through you. The subconscious, when impressed with harmony, directs every cell, every gland, every organ back to balance. Healing is not something foreign entering the body. It is the natural movement of life, restoring its own order. A girl once dreamed of singing on stage but was crippled by terror. Each time she opened her mouth, her body froze, her throat tightened, her breath vanished. Her conscious mind declared, "I cannot sing," and her subconscious obeyed, paralyzing her. I taught her to rehearse a new command. I sing with joy, with freedom, with confidence. My voice is the instrument of God's harmony. She repeated this, visualizing herself standing tall, breathing deeply, singing freely. Slowly the subconscious accepted, and when the day of her performance arrived, she sang as though born for the stage. The very power that once froze her now released her. What happened in her singing happens in your healing. The subconscious expresses whatever is impressed, and if fear can paralyze, faith can liberate. Do not allow your diagnosis to become your identity. The doctor may describe a condition, but only you can decide whether to embody it. If you say, "I am diabetic, I am asthmatic, I am arthritic," you weld your identity to the illness. But if you say, "I am life, I am strength, I am harmony," you declare your identity with the infinite. The subconscious responds not to the medical chart, but to the inner decree. Many have been healed not because the condition was small, but because their faith was great. Others remain bound not because their illness was great, but because their fear was greater. The scale is balanced not by the weight of the disease, but by the weight of belief. Think of your subconscious as a skilled craftsman. It will build whatever blueprint you hand it. If you give it the plan of disease, it will faithfully construct disease. If you give it the plan of health, it will reconstruct health. The craftsman does not question the architect. It simply obeys. And you are the architect. Your thoughts are the plans, your feelings are the ink, your words are the decree. Every night as you drift to sleep, you are handing new blueprints to the builder. If you fall asleep whispering, "I am whole, I am healed, I am strong," the subconscious takes the plan and begins its work. And as surely as morning follows night, the results must come. There was a minister who once suffered from lung cancer. The doctors despaired of him, yet each evening he sat quietly and affirmed, "The breath of God flows through my lungs. Every cell is alive with the healing presence. I am whole." He visualized light filling his chest, imagined himself breathing freely, pictured his body restored. The subconscious, impressed with this conviction, began its silent work. In time, the cancer disappeared. The world called it miraculous, but it was law. The subconscious accepted the blueprint of health and carried it out with precision. If such healing can occur in one, it can occur in all. The infinite makes no exceptions. The law of belief is universal. Guard carefully the first and last moments of your day, for they are the golden gates of impression. Upon waking, the subconscious is still soft, receptive, ready to receive. Before sleep, it is most open, ready to be instructed. Do not begin your day with dread, nor end it with complaint. Begin with faith, end with gratitude. Whisper upon waking, "Today, divine health governs me. Strength flows through me. Peace surrounds me." As you lie down at night, say, "The healing presence restores me as I sleep. I awake renewed, whole and strong." These words are not wasted. They sink deep into the soil and the harvest will follow. The subconscious always obeys the final impression given to it before rest. You must not let fear be your final word. Fear is faith inverted, belief in evil instead of good. If you whisper fear at night, your subconscious accepts it and labors to express it. But if you whisper faith, it accepts that instead. The choice is always yours. Which voice will you give authority? Which seed will you plant? As within, so without. The subconscious does not rest. It builds by night and by day. Give it fear and it builds weakness. Give it faith and it builds health. The builder cannot change its orders. Only the master can. And you are the master. I say to you now, never finish a negative statement about your health. If you begin to say, "I feel weak," correct it at once. "I am filled with strength. Divine energy restores me." If you begin to say, "This pain is unbearable," reverse it. The healing presence dissolves this pain now. Do not give the subconscious the poison of finality. Always give it the antidote of truth. In this way, you train yourself to speak only what you desire expressed. This is not denial of fact. It is affirmation of truth. Facts change. Truth remains. Pain is temporary. Divine life is eternal. Hold to the eternal, and the temporal will dissolve. Now, let us seal this moment with living affirmation. Say it, write it, believe it. I am life expressing in perfect harmony. Every cell of my body is saturated with the healing presence of God. I release fear, I release doubt, I embrace divine wholeness now. Let these words be your decree tonight. For what is impressed will be expressed, and the God within knows only how to heal. Illness often persists because men believe more in the power of disease than in the power of God. They magnify symptoms, rehearse pain, speak endlessly of weakness, until their subconscious accepts sickness as the ruling law. Yet the truth is unchanging. The healing life is already within you, waiting to be recognized. The same intelligence that designed the body knows how to restore it. It needs no instruction from you on how to knit flesh, renew blood, or balance chemistry. It only requires one thing, your belief. Your task is not to force healing, but to impress health, to affirm harmony, to trust that the God within works with unfailing precision when given the right command. There was once a student who came to me complaining of constant headaches. He carried tablets wherever he went, living in dread of the next attack. I asked him, "What thoughts fill your mind before the pain begins?" He admitted, "I always say to myself, it's coming again. I cannot escape it." And so his subconscious, faithful to his command, produced exactly what he feared. I instructed him to reverse his expectation. Each time he felt a shadow of pain, he was to declare, "The peace of God fills my mind. My body is calm, my nerves are relaxed, I am free." He resisted, but persisted. Over time the pain lessened, the fear dissolved, and the headache ceased. The tablets grew dusty. The cure was not chemical, but mental. What you expect, you attract. What you fear, you feed. What you affirm, you create. The subconscious responds most powerfully to images charged with emotion. If you picture yourself broken, weak, and frail, it will dutifully reproduce that image. If you imagine yourself vibrant, radiant, strong, it will equally reproduce that. This is why visualization united with affirmation is so potent. When you affirm with words alone, you touch the surface. When you add vivid imagery and feeling, you reach the depth. Imagine yourself walking freely, breathing easily, standing tall, smiling with energy. See it clearly, feel it deeply, repeat it faithfully, and the subconscious will accept it as truth. Once accepted, expression must follow. The body cannot resist the law of the mind any more than a shadow can resist the body that casts it. One man I knew was given only months to live, his body ravaged by disease. He refused to accept the decree. Each day he would sit in silence, picturing himself surrounded by light, every organ flooded with divine energy. He repeated, "I am filled with the healing presence of God. Every cell is made new. I live in strength and peace." His family thought him deluded, but he persisted. Months passed, then years, and his health returned. The doctors had no explanation, but explanation was unnecessary. The subconscious had accepted health as reality, and reality conformed. Call it miracle if you wish. I call it law. What is impressed is expressed. Whisper it again. Let it ingrain itself in your mind. What is impressed is expressed. Your subconscious does not measure difficulty. It does not say this is a small illness, that is a great one. It responds equally to a cut or a cancer, a headache or a heart disease. The difference lies only in your belief. If you think a problem is incurable, your subconscious accepts that and expresses incurability. If you think it is curable, your subconscious accepts that and expresses healing. The law is indifferent. It works with buttons, as with fortunes, with minor ailments, as with so-called incurables. Do not magnify the condition, magnify the truth. Say within yourself, there is no incurable with God. The healing presence is restoring me now. Say it until it is not merely words but conviction, and you will see the law act. Do not confuse this truth with denial. Denial ignores facts. Faith transforms them. You do not say there is no pain when you hurt. You say the healing presence is greater than this pain. It is passing. Health is rising. You do not deny the storm. You affirm the sun beyond the storm. Facts change. Truth remains. Illness is fact. Health is truth. Pain is fact. Life is truth. Facts are shadows. Truth is substance. Align yourself with truth, and the facts will rearrange themselves. This is not fantasy, it is the higher realism. For what you see outwardly is only the result of what you believe inwardly. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself. Every 7 years, almost every cell is renewed. The liver regenerates, the skin renews, the blood replenishes. The blueprint for this renewal is carried in the subconscious. If you impress sickness, the body rebuilds with sickness. If you impress health, the body rebuilds with health. Do you see the power? You are not a prisoner of past conditions. You are renewed daily by the law of life within you. Give it the right blueprint, and it will build for you a new body, vibrant and whole. Now I ask you to engrave this affirmation in your heart tonight. Say it, write it, whisper it until it becomes your truth. I am filled with the healing presence of God. Every organ of my body is made whole, every cell renewed, every nerve strengthened. I release fear, I release doubt, I embrace divine health now. Let this be the seed you plant in your subconscious, for once it is impressed, it must be expressed, and the God within you knows only how to heal. The silent healer within you never sleeps. Even now, as you listen, it is repairing tissues, renewing blood, balancing chemistry, keeping the heart beating and the lungs breathing with flawless precision. You do not command these functions consciously, yet they continue. What greater evidence could you ask for that the infinite presence dwells within, guiding, sustaining, and healing you? When the body hurts, it is not a signal of abandonment but of imbalance. And imbalance is not permanent. Harmony is the law of life, and the subconscious always strives to restore it when given the right command. Your task is to align your thought with harmony, to trust the God within, to speak the language of health until the body conforms to it. There was a man who came to me suffering from a skin condition that covered him with shame. He told me, I have tried every ointment, every remedy, and nothing works. I asked him, what do you believe about yourself? He hesitated, then admitted, I feel unclean, unworthy, unwanted. His body was only mirroring his self-condemnation. I instructed him to affirm, I am pure in the sight of God. I am worthy of love. The cleansing power of the infinite flows through me. He wrote it on a card, carried it in his pocket, repeated it morning and night. As his belief shifted, his body changed. The skin cleared, the shame dissolved, and he walked with confidence. His healing was not in the ointment, but in the impression. What is impressed is expressed. Your subconscious is not limited by the reasoning of the conscious mind. The conscious mind may say, this is impossible, this cannot change, the doctor has spoken. But the subconscious does not argue. It only accepts and acts. If you impress it with impossibility, it will create impossibility. If you impress it with possibility, it will create possibility. Do not let the conscious mind be your jailer. Let belief be your liberator. Say within yourself, I refuse to give power to appearances. I trust the healing presence within me. I am whole now, and your subconscious will obey, directing your body, your circumstances, your very chemistry, to align with the new decree. The subconscious is like fertile soil. It will grow thorns or roses, weeds or wheat, according to the seed you plant. Do not be careless with your planting. If you constantly speak of pain, you are sowing pain. If you constantly expect sickness, you are sowing sickness. But if you affirm life, if you envision strength, if you declare harmony, you are sowing health, and health must grow. The soil does not choose, it simply grows what it is given. You are the sower. What are you planting tonight? Every thought is a seed, every feeling is water, every word is sunlight. Choose carefully, for tomorrow's harvest is being formed in the silence of your mind. Even those who scoff at faith use this law unknowingly. They say, I always catch a cold this season, and the subconscious obeys, producing the cold. They say, I cannot eat this food without getting sick, and the subconscious obliges. Yet when you reverse the declaration, the law works just as faithfully. Say, I am strong, my body resists every illness. I am guided by divine health, and the subconscious strengthens your immunity, harmonizes your digestion, renews your energy. The law is impartial. It serves the fearful as it serves the faithful. Better then to give it noble orders than destructive ones. Whisper it again to yourself. What is impressed is expressed. One woman I knew was bedridden with chronic fatigue. Each day she told herself, "I cannot move. I am too weak. I am finished." And indeed, her subconscious paralyzed her body with weakness. I told her, "Reverse it. Each morning before you attempt to rise, declare, 'The strength of God fills me. My body is alive with energy. I rise in divine vitality.'" At first it felt hollow, for her body still ached, but she persisted, speaking it with as much faith as she could gather. Soon she rose without strain, and eventually her strength returned. The power was not in the formula of words, but in the conviction impressed upon the subconscious. The words were the seed. Faith was the water. The harvest was healing. Do not imagine that the subconscious works only slowly. At times it acts in an instant, dissolving pain, restoring strength, performing what the conscious calls miracle. But whether quick or gradual, the law never fails. The seed always produces after its kind. Your task is persistence. Do not plant health one night and sickness the next. Do not affirm wholeness in the morning and rehearse pain in the evening. Be consistent. Guard your planting. Let every word, every image, every feeling be aligned with health. And health must be the harvest. The subconscious does not resist, it only reflects. Remember also that gratitude multiplies the power of impression. When you give thanks in advance, you are declaring belief in the reality of healing. Gratitude is faith in action. It tells the subconscious, "This is already mine," and the subconscious, convinced, moves to express it. Say often, "Thank you, Father, for divine health. Thank you for renewed strength. Thank you for peace in my body and mind." The heart that is grateful before the harvest always reaps abundantly, for gratitude seals the impression with conviction. Now let us seal this lesson with affirmation. Say it aloud, write it on your paper, whisper it into your heart. I am filled with the healing life of God. My body is pure, my mind is calm, my spirit is free. Every cell sings with strength, every organ moves in harmony. I am grateful, I am whole, I am healed. Let these words be your decree tonight. Impress them deeply, for what is impressed must be expressed. And the God within you knows only how to heal. The body has within it a perfect pattern of wholeness, a divine blueprint held in the subconscious mind. No matter how scarred or broken the surface may appear, this original design is never lost. The Infinite placed it there when life began, and it remains as a template of harmony. When you align with it, the subconscious begins to rebuild according to that divine pattern. Healing is not creating something new. It is returning to what was always true. Disease is temporary disturbance. Health is eternal order. The moment you impress this truth upon your subconscious, the hidden blueprint is activated, and the body begins to conform once more to its perfect design. I remember a young woman who had lost the use of her legs after an accident. Doctors told her she would never walk again. Her conscious mind accepted their verdict, and her body obeyed with paralysis. But I told her, there is a higher law than the verdict of man. Within you is the pattern of perfect movement. Begin to see yourself walking. Affirm daily, the life of God flows through my legs. Strength returns to every muscle and nerve. I walk in divine order. She obeyed, though at first it felt futile. She persisted, and slowly sensation returned. In time she walked without aid. The blueprint had never been erased. Only her belief had blocked its expression. Once belief changed, the body followed. What is impressed is expressed. The subconscious does not argue with facts. It only responds to faith. Fact said she would never walk. Faith said she would never walk. Faith said she would. The subconscious heard faith, and faith became flesh. This is why I urge you never to make your illness the final word. Facts may say incurable. Faith says with God all things are possible. Facts may say decline. Faith says renewal. Do not deny facts, but do not enthrone them either. Acknowledge them, then place them beneath the higher truth of divine law. What you impress with conviction will always be stronger than what you observe with fear. Consider how wounds heal. You may cut your skin, and at once the subconscious begins to knit it together. You do not command the cells, the Infinite does. You do not tell the blood how to clot, the tissue how to regenerate. The God within knows. If it can restore a wound without your thought, how much more can it restore deeper illnesses when you cooperate with it? The same intelligence that renews a cut can renew an organ, a gland, a nerve. Nothing is too small for it, and nothing is too great. It requires only that you trust it, affirm it, and refuse to contradict it with fear. One of the most powerful tools you can use is imagination united with faith. Imagine yourself living in perfect health. Picture yourself moving freely, smiling, laughing, working with strength. Feel the joy of it as if it were already real. The subconscious accepts vivid imagery as fact, and once it accepts, it must express. Do this before sleep, when the conscious mind relaxes and the gate to the subconscious is open. Fall asleep with health as your final thought, and you will rise with health growing silently within. Never end your day rehearsing pain. Always end it rehearsing healing. The subconscious will take the last impression and labor all night to bring it forth. There was a minister who healed himself of tuberculosis by visualizing light flooding his lungs. Each day he sat quietly, breathing deeply, repeating, "The breath of God fills me now." Every cell is alive with healing power. His subconscious, convinced by repetition and imagery, obeyed. The disease disappeared. His healing was not outside in, but inside out. The subconscious, given a new command, reorganized his body to match. If tuberculosis can dissolve before faith, what condition cannot? Do not limit the infinite within you. Say with conviction, "I am filled with divine life. Every breath restores me. Every moment renews me. The healing presence flows through me now." The subconscious works with precision, but you must persist until it is convinced. One statement spoken once may not suffice, for the old belief still lingers. But repeated daily, nightly, with feeling, the new belief sinks in. The subconscious accepts it, and expression follows. Do not dig up the seed by doubt. Water it with faith. Be patient, for the harvest is certain. Whether swiftly or slowly, the law never fails. What you impress is always what you express. When your body hurts, do not curse it. Bless it. Speak kindly to it. Tell your nerves you are calm. Tell your heart you are strong. Tell your lungs you are clear. Speak to your body as you would to a child, firmly but lovingly. It will listen, it will obey. The subconscious governs the body, and your words are its commands. Give it words of harmony, and harmony will follow. Give it words of fear, and fear will follow. Choose carefully, for every word is seed, and every seed bears fruit. Now let us impress this truth upon the subconscious with living affirmation. Say with me, "I am aligned with the divine blueprint of wholeness. Every organ, every cell, every function of my body expresses harmony. The healing life of God renews me now. I walk, I breathe, I live in strength and peace." Write it, speak it, believe it. Let it sink deep, for what is impressed must be expressed, and the God within you knows only how to heal. When your body is gripped with pain, you may feel as though you are a prisoner in your own flesh, chained to suffering you cannot escape. But chains are never stronger than the belief that binds them. The God within has placed in you a key, and that key is thought directed by faith. Your subconscious mind accepts the conviction you hold, and it must outpicture it. If you constantly affirm, "I am bound, I am sick, I am dying," you hand it a decree of death. But if you declare, "I am life, I am strength, I am free," you hand it a decree of healing. The subconscious does not choose, it obeys. And when it obeys faith instead of fear, the prison doors swing open, the chains dissolve, and you walk free. There was a man whose heart was weak, so fragile that physicians told him to avoid exertion or risk collapse. He lived in terror of his own body, whispering each day, "My heart is failing, I am weak." And so his subconscious, obedient as always, weakened him further. When he came to me, I told him to reverse the inner record. Each morning he was to place his hand upon his chest and affirm, "The strength of God beats in my heart. My pulse is the rhythm of divine order. I am strong, I am alive." He practiced this faithfully, imagining himself climbing stairs with ease, walking briskly with joy. Within months his strength returned, and the fear left him. The power was not in me, nor in medicine alone, but in the God within him, awakened by belief. The subconscious does not distinguish between truth and falsehood, real or imagined, past or present. It accepts whatever you impress upon it as fact. If you constantly relive past injuries, your body responds as though they were present. If you continually fear the future, your body responds as though the fear were reality. But if you imagine yourself whole, free, vibrant, your body begins to conform to that picture. The subconscious is the soil, and your imagination is the seed. Plant images of health, water them with faith, warm them with gratitude, and the harvest will be certain. Do not plant weeds of fear and expect roses of health. The harvest matches the seed without exception. One woman came to me, tormented by chronic back pain. She spoke of it constantly, identified herself with it, rehearsed her suffering until her subconscious carved it into her body. I instructed her to stop speaking of pain and start affirming health. Say often, "My back is strong, flexible, and free. The healing life of God flows through my spine." Picture yourself bending, moving, laughing without strain. Feel it as though it were already real. She obeyed, though at first it felt false. But persistence brought conviction, and conviction brought change. The pain dissolved, the freedom returned. The subconscious had accepted a new blueprint and built the body accordingly. What is impressed is expressed. Fear magnifies pain, while faith dissolves it. When you dwell on fear, every symptom grows larger, every ache louder, every weakness heavier. But when you dwell on faith, the opposite occurs. Pain lessens, relief appears, strength returns. Fear and faith are both beliefs. The subconscious will express whichever you feed. Why feed fear when you can feed faith? Say within yourself, "The healing presence flows through me now. I trust God's life within me. I am whole." Repeat it until the fear dissolves, until the conviction takes hold. Then rest, knowing the law is working, unseen yet unfailing. The subconscious is also influenced by gratitude. Gratitude seals belief as reality. When you give thanks in advance, you declare, "This is already mine." The subconscious, hearing gratitude, accepts the healing is accomplished and sets about expressing it. A man once told me he thanked God daily for his restored eyesight, though his eyes were still dim. Within months, his vision cleared. Gratitude had convinced the subconscious of completion, and the body followed. So tonight, do not wait to give thanks until the healing appears. Give thanks now, and the healing will appear. Gratitude is faith in action. Your words are vessels of power. Speak to your body as you would to a servant. Say to your heart, "Beat in strength." Say to your lungs, "Breathe in freedom." Say to your nerves, "Be calm." The subconscious accepts these commands and directs the body accordingly. Do not curse your body with words of weakness. Bless it with words of strength. Your body is not your enemy. It is the faithful servant of your mind. Speak to it with authority, and it will respond with obedience. Now let us seal these truths with affirmation. Say it with me quietly, but with conviction. I am life clothed in flesh. The healing presence of God renews me now. My heart is strong. My body is whole. My spirit is free. Every cell sings with vitality. Every organ expresses harmony. Every breath declares strength. Write it, whisper it, believe it, until your subconscious accepts it as fact. For once accepted, it must be expressed, and the God within you knows only how to heal. Illness often lingers because men give more attention to symptoms than to solutions. They rehearse pain in their minds, speak of it to everyone they meet, and meditate upon it as though it were their master. But you were never designed to be ruled by pain. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. It is the body's cry for harmony. The subconscious reminding you that the thought life has fallen into discord. The moment you impress upon it the conviction of healing, the moment you speak to it in the language of faith, the body begins to repair. You cannot change the signal by cursing it, but you can change it by giving the subconscious a new command. Speak to it. The life of God flows through me now. Wholeness is mine, and it will obey. One case I recall was a woman plagued with stomach trouble for years. She said to me, "Doctor, I cannot eat without pain, and I live in fear of every meal." Her subconscious had accepted fear as law, and the body carried it out with painful precision. I told her to replace fear with faith. Each time she prepared to eat, she was to affirm, "Every morsel I take is blessed. My body digests in peace. The healing presence of God governs me." She obeyed. At first the pain remained, but she persisted, impressing health daily. In time her body conformed to her new belief, and she ate freely, joyfully, without pain. What medicine had failed to cure, belief had healed. The law is simple. What is impressed is expressed. The subconscious does not ask whether your command is logical. It does not question whether it is easy or hard. It accepts belief as reality and expresses it. This is why so many remain ill, not because their condition is beyond cure, but because their belief is beyond correction. They cling to fear, they nurse resentment, they identify with weakness, and the subconscious, impartial and obedient, reflects it all. But when a man dares to affirm strength where weakness appears, to declare peace where pain throbs, to speak life where death threatens, he awakens the infinite within, and the law shifts in his favor. The subconscious cannot resist conviction. Once convinced, it must obey. Remember that prayer is not begging, but impressing. To pray for health is not to plead with a distant deity. It is to plant the seed of wholeness in the subconscious until it bears fruit in the body. When Jesus said, "According to your faith be it unto you," he was describing this law. Faith is not words spoken once. It is the inner conviction impressed until it becomes flesh. Do not say, "I hope I will be healed." Say, "I am healed now. The life of God restores me." Speak it until your heart feels it. Imagine it until your body believes it. Give thanks until your subconscious accepts it. That is scientific prayer, and its result is certain. One man told me he had lived with chronic asthma since childhood. He said, "It is my curse, I must endure it." His subconscious had been programmed with that curse, and so his body obeyed it. I taught him to declare daily, "The breath of God fills me. My lungs are clear, my chest is free, my body breathes in peace." He practiced it morning and night, visualizing himself walking with ease, inhaling deeply without strain. Within months, his breathing was restored. The curse had been lifted, not by chance, but by law. His subconscious had accepted a new order, and the body conformed. What you believe about yourself is always stronger than what others say about you. No curse can bind the man who knows the blessing of the infinite within. Do not think that faith is only for the desperate. Faith is the natural language of your being. Even now, as you breathe, you exercise faith that air will fill your lungs. As you lie down to sleep, you trust your heart to beat through the night. Why not extend that faith to every part of your body? Why not trust that the infinite sustains your cells, renews your blood, heals your wounds, restores your harmony? Faith is not strange, it is natural. Doubt is the intruder, fear is the thief. Cast them out, and let the natural order of health prevail. Another woman I knew was healed of blindness in one eye, though doctors said her optic nerve was destroyed. Through suggestion and faith, sight returned. How? Because the subconscious, once convinced, reorganized her body in ways the conscious mind could not fathom. Do not limit the infinite by reasoning how it will act. Your part is to believe. The how belongs to God. Say within yourself, "I do not care how healing comes. I know it comes. I accept it now." Release the method and trust the result. The subconscious will find the way, whether through natural regeneration, medical aid, or unseen channels. Trust the law, and the law will act. Your body is the servant, not the master. Treat it as such. When it cries with pain, do not curse it. Guide it. Speak to it calmly, lovingly, with authority. Say, "Peace, be still." The healing presence governs you. Do this often with conviction, and the body will obey. It has no will of its own. It only mirrors the mind. And the mind, when aligned with the infinite, can command the flesh into harmony. You are not helpless. You are sovereign. You are not a victim of illness. You are the channel of divine light. Remember this and act upon it. Let us now impress this truth with affirmation. Say with me, "I trust the healing presence of God within me." Every organ moves in divine harmony. Every cell vibrates with light. Every breath declares peace. I release fear. I release doubt. I embrace strength now. Write it, whisper it, believe it. Let it saturate your subconscious tonight. For what is impressed must be expressed, and the God within you knows only how to heal. When the body aches, many surrender to despair, believing they are at the mercy of flesh and faith. But you are never at the mercy of circumstance. You are always at the mercy of your own belief. The subconscious mind, joined with the infinite, carries within it a healing power greater than any pain, greater than any diagnosis, greater than any history of suffering. The body hurts because the subconscious has been impressed with fear, with weakness, with images of decline. Change the impression, and the expression must follow. The body is not your enemy, it is your servant, faithfully reflecting the orders you give. Give it commands of life, and life will return. Give it decrees of wholeness, and wholeness will appear. This is law, and law cannot fail. There was once a man who limped into my office, burdened with crippling arthritis. He said, "Doctor, my joints are stiff, my bones ache, and nothing brings relief." I asked him, "What do you tell yourself each day?" He answered, "I always say I am old, I am worn out, I am finished." His subconscious had accepted these decrees as law, and had expressed them in his body. I told him, "Reverse your inner speech. Declare daily, the strength of God flows through me. My joints are supple, my bones are strong, my body is renewed." Visualize yourself walking freely, climbing stairs with ease, moving with grace. At first it felt like a lie, but he persisted until it became truth to him. Slowly the stiffness dissolved, his pain lessened, his freedom returned. His healing was not in a new medicine, but in a new command. What is impressed is expressed. The subconscious never argues. If you say I am weak, it accepts. If you say I am strong, it accepts. If you say I am doomed, it accepts. If you say I am healed, it accepts. It does not distinguish between truth and falsehood, logic and folly. It only expresses what it receives with feeling. This is why idle words are dangerous, why careless thoughts are seeds that grow. Guard your speech, for your words are orders to the builder within. Do not hand it blueprints of destruction. Hand it blueprints of harmony, and the body will reflect them faithfully. A woman once tormented by insomnia confessed that she fell asleep each night repeating, "I will never sleep. I cannot rest. I will be exhausted tomorrow." Her subconscious obeyed her decree, and exhaustion ruled her life. I told her to change the order. As she lay in bed, she was to whisper, "I rest in peace. The healing presence restores me. I awake refreshed and renewed." Within days, she slept deeply. Her subconscious, convinced by new belief, obeyed instantly. Do you see? The body is a stage upon which the mind plays its script. If you want a new performance, write a new script. Do not replay the tragedy, compose the triumph. The actor is your body. The director is your mind. Direct it well, and the play of your life will be one of harmony. Pain is real, but it is not ultimate. It is the shadow of belief, not the substance of truth. Truth is life, wholeness, strength. When you turn from the shadow to the substance, the shadow dissolves. This is why Jesus said, "Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment." Do not worship appearances, however painful. Affirm the truth beyond them. Say, "This pain is passing, health is eternal. The healing presence is restoring me now." Do not deny pain, but do not deify it either. Acknowledge it as a messenger, then dismiss it with faith. Pain cannot withstand the conviction of health impressed upon the subconscious. Once the deeper command is given, the body must conform. The subconscious is not limited by time. It does not say, "This illness has been here too long to change." It does not measure years of suffering. It responds only to belief. Whether you have suffered for days or decades, the law is the same. The moment you impress health with conviction, healing begins. Some see results quickly, others slowly, but the principle never fails. Do not say it is too late. Say, "Now is the accepted time, now is my healing." Speak it with faith, and the subconscious will act. The body will follow in its season, for no seed planted in fertile soil remains barren. One man said to me, "I pray for health, but my heart is filled with doubt." And indeed his prayer was answered according to his faith. He received doubt. Prayer is not words spoken to the air. It is conviction impressed upon the subconscious. If your words say health, but your heart says fear, the subconscious obeys fear. Align the two, and the law will move mountains. Say it, feel it, believe it. I am one with divine health. Let the thought and the feeling join, and the subconscious will be convinced. Once convinced, it must express. Healing is not a gamble, it is certainty once the seed is planted in conviction. So tonight, do not surrender to the tyranny of pain. Do not allow fear to write your decree. Take up your authority as the master of thought. Speak to the God within you, and through that presence command your body with faith. It will listen. It will obey. For the subconscious is the silent builder, and the God within is its eternal wisdom. Together they form the healing power that no disease can resist. Trust it, and you will see results. Now let us impress this truth with affirmation. Say with me, I am strong, I am free, I am healed by the power of God within me. Every joint is supple, every nerve is calm, every cell vibrates with light. Pain dissolves, fear departs, harmony reigns. I believe this, I accept this, I am this. Write it, whisper it, engrave it in your soul. For what is impressed must be expressed, and the God within you knows only how to heal. When sickness lingers, many believe that God has forgotten them, or that fate has cursed them. Yet the truth is this: God has already placed within you the power to heal, and it has never left you. The subconscious mind is the channel of this divine light, and it is always ready to restore harmony when you give it the command. The problem is not that the power is absent, but that it has been misdirected by fear, resentment, or despair. The same force that builds disease when fed with fear builds health when fed with faith. The law never changes, only your impression changes. Therefore, the remedy is not to beg for healing, but to align your belief with the eternal truth that health is your birthright, harmony is your nature, and life is the law of your being. I recall a man who suffered for years with crippling migraines. He said to me, "Doctor, I fear each day, for I never know when the pain will strike." His subconscious, hearing this constant command, faithfully created the very thing he dreaded. I told him, fear is faith in the wrong direction. Begin now to place your faith in health, not in pain. Each morning affirm, divine peace fills my mind. My head is clear, calm, and free. I live in harmony now. He resisted, for the pain still came. But with persistence he convinced his subconscious. The attacks grew weaker, then disappeared. His healing was not a miracle, but a manifestation of law. What you fear, you feed. What you affirm, you create. What you impress, you express. Do not believe that your body is merely matter. It is matter animated by mind, and mind is ruled by belief. Your subconscious is the conductor of every process. The beating of the heart, the rhythm of breath, the renewal of blood, the rebuilding of tissue. It responds not only to physical laws, but also to mental decrees. If you speak weakness, it weakens you. If you speak strength, it strengthens you. If you speak death, it hastens decline. If you speak life, it renews your days. Your body is not separate from your thought. It is the visible garment of your invisible belief. Clothe it in faith, and it will radiate life. A woman once came to me weeping with despair. She had been told her condition was terminal. I asked her, "What do you say within yourself?" She answered, "I say I am dying." I told her, "As long as you say that, your subconscious will obey. Replace it now with, I am living. The life of God flows through me. Every cell responds with vitality." Do not let the words, "I am dying," pass your lips or your thoughts again. She obeyed, clinging to her new affirmation as though to life itself. Months later, she walked into my office. Her health restored. She said, "The doctors cannot explain it." But I explained, what is impressed is expressed. Write it down, whisper it, let it ingrain itself in you. What is impressed is expressed. Understand that the subconscious does not measure possibility by logic. To it, there is no difference between a cut and a cancer, a sprain and a paralysis. It responds equally to conviction. If you say with deep faith, "I am whole," it acts as though it were so, and the body conforms. Do not let the conscious mind argue. It is too difficult, too late, too incurable. The subconscious hears conviction, not argument. Feed it health, not despair. The infinite within has never seen an incurable. With God all things are possible, and your subconscious is God's channel in you. Think of how you fall asleep at night. You do not force your body to rest. You surrender. You trust the subconscious to keep your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your organs working. In the same way, healing comes not by strain, but by surrender. Surrender to the divine order already within you. Cease wrestling with the condition. Rest in the truth. Say, "The healing presence is at work in me now. I let go and I let God." As you surrender with faith, the subconscious accepts the command and works tirelessly to bring harmony. Healing is not in the strain of effort, but in the calm of trust. One man told me he struggled for years to quit smoking, but every attempt failed. He strained, fought, resisted, yet the habit remained. I taught him to stop fighting and start impressing. Each night he was to declare, "I am free. My body craves only health. The breath of God fills me." He pictured himself free, healthy, strong. Within weeks the craving left him. He did not fight the habit, he replaced it. The subconscious, once impressed with freedom, expressed it. The same principle holds for sickness. Do not fight the illness, replace it with the conviction of health, and the illness will dissolve by law. So when your body hurts, do not speak despair. Do not rehearse your suffering. Speak only life, speak only harmony, speak only truth. Declare it even if your senses scream the opposite. For the senses reflect the past, but faith creates the future. Align with faith, and the future must bend to it. The subconscious cannot resist a dominant conviction. Persist and the body must obey. This is not hope, it is law. Now let us seal these truths with a living affirmation. Say it aloud, write it on your paper, whisper it until your subconscious accepts it as law. I am filled with divine life. My mind is clear, my body is whole, my spirit is free. Every cell vibrates with strength. Every organ expresses harmony. Every breath carries peace. I believe it. I accept it. I am it. For what is impressed must be expressed, and the God within me knows only how to heal. You have walked with me through these words, and now let them walk with you into your nights and your mornings. When your body aches, when fear whispers, when doubt presses hard, remember the infinite presence dwells in you. The same God who fashioned galaxies and commands the tides has planted his healing life in every cell of your being. You are not abandoned. You are not powerless. You are not frail. You are the temple of the living Spirit. And when you impress health, peace, and harmony upon your subconscious, the law goes to work, silently, unfailingly, until your body reflects your belief. Never forget, pain is a shadow, health is the substance. Fear is an intruder, faith is the natural order. The subconscious will not resist you, it will obey you. It has obeyed your fears long enough. Now let it obey your faith. Speak to it with authority, feed it with images of strength, seal it with gratitude. Trust the God within, for he knows how to heal you far beyond your conscious wisdom. Carry this truth with you. What is impressed is expressed. Whisper it when you rise, declare it before you sleep. Let it echo in your heart until it becomes your living rhythm. For as surely as night yields to dawn, as surely as seed yields to harvest, the health you impress tonight will be the health you walk in tomorrow. And as you close your eyes, let this final affirmation be your decree. I am one with the healing life of God. Every breath restores me. Every heartbeat renews me. Every moment fills me with strength. I am whole. I am free. I am healed now.